video talking about World of Warcraft and effectively why I've quit so early and why I think, I quit Dragonflight so early last time as well and why I think WoW in general is just bad. No, don't get it twisted. I ain't some WoW hater, okay? I ain't some WoW hater. I am a WoW Andy through and through. The most played game of any game ever.
Okay.
Across my entire lifespan is World of Warcraft, and I've played a lot of games, let me tell you, bro. I played a absolute shit ton of games. I love WoW.
So this video is about why Quinn has already quit War Within, and he just doesn't want to play the game, and he's gotten a lot of flack for it on like Twitter and everything. So I want to watch this, and then I want to show you guys the tweet as well. So reacting to this, I want to give my opinions and thoughts as well.
I really, really want World of Warcraft to be good, because when WoW was good, it's life destroying, bro. I don't want to do anything else except play it, and that's currently not the case right now, and I'm going to point out why. Also, I want to preface, I'm not some classic Andy. A lot of you guys probably think like, oh, this guy he likes WoW, but he just likes old WoW. No. Okay, well, technically yes, a little bit, but no. I hate the classification of everything nowadays. Where they're just re-releasing the same shit with a new coat of paint over and over again, doing it in games, doing it in movies. Whenever they announce classic, believe it or not, I was pretty upset. I was like, well, this is shit. Why are they doing that? Why don't they just make the retail better? And that's fundamentally how I feel.
Okay, so when he said that he thinks it's bad, like that's his own opinion. I like classic, and I like every version of WoW. WoW was it's my very first online game. And I think Quinn doesn't want to go backwards when it comes to content. He wants to move forward, which that kind of makes sense. But everyone likes the expansion that they like. That's why Wrath came out. That's why Burning Crusade came out. That's why Classic came out, because people love those versions of games. And nostalgia is great. It's not necessarily bad. So, yeah.
Why don't they just make the new one?
Why is everyone showing Quinn rants? He's a joke anyway. I think Quinn is not a joke. I think Quinn. We'll hear in the video what he's technically saying, so I can give my thoughts. But I don't think he's a joke. I think it's just he wants WoW to be better from his point of view, right? So we'll see, and then I'll give my final thoughts on it.
Like, have all that stuff that people liked about the classic, except make it better, right? Maybe innovate, come up with some new stuff that really elevates the game to a level that we never thought possible. So, why does WoW currently suck? What I did is I just made a bunch of bullet points as to why I think it sucks. And, the ones that came up first, I guess the ones that are probably closer to the surface as to why I think WoW sucks. Straight up, early access. The fuck is that? Why it totally kills the hype of an expansion.
Okay, I can see that from a point of view. I think early access for any game is kind of bad, because you have to pay to play early, which you pay more than what the base game actually costs, which is, it's dumb to me. Like that I can agree with this, because I don't like early access. I like to start when everyone else starts. Like, again, they said in this expansion that no one is ahead of anyone else, which that makes sense, but like, still, why would you want to pay more just to play 3 days or 4 days early, right? I don't like that either.
Why the fuck does that exist? It's not even early access. It's just some shit they're saying to basically let you pay to win and get into the game earlier, so they can make more money. And
Yeah, but that's just with gold, though. You just get ahead with gold and like put stuff in the auction house. That's not that bad, to be honest.
and then all the stuff is locked anyway, and you can't do fuck all. So they're basically scamming you. And then on top of that, you're playing, and it's like not hype because half the people aren't playing. I don't know. It's just a terrible thing. And I, honestly, from a marketing standpoint, I think it, 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 you're shooting yourself in the foot, right? Like, yeah, you're gonna make some money from these, pay piggies who are gonna get the early access, like me.
Yeah, like the whales are gonna like throw in money on it because like they can afford it, right? That's why people paid early access because they can afford it and like it doesn't matter to them.
But what you're trading off is like the hype of, oh shit, boys, on this day, everyone's logging in and we're all playing World of Warcraft for this expansion. And they're basically, yeah, the early access that immediately is as a vibe killer, followed by the 3 week. I mean, bro, 3 weeks of time gating. 3 weeks of time gating. Come on, man. Like one week max. Changed my mind, bro. In the current state of what there is to do.
I look at it as a way to help those with busy personal lives try and try the game out, enjoy it since they are busy most of the time during the game's early life cycle. I guess that makes sense in a way too. But I the whole early access thing, like even if you buy early access, like you can't do anything. And I kind of agree with him here. The 3 weeks of time gating, like you have to wait 3 weeks or 2 weeks almost for the PvP season or the mythics to come out, which that kind of sucks because they want people to catch up. But like you need to play from day one, like
1 week max. Maybe I'm a nerd. I don't know. But I just think, that whole thing where, you think about like I don't know. I don't want to be talking about PoE too much, but you think about a PoE league, right? The league comes out. You don't want to do anything except play the game. And you don't even want to sleep because there's so much new shit in the game that you got to try out. You got to pop off. You got to farm all the new shit, all the new. Well, guess what? That feeling of like wanting to degenerately log in and play the fuck out of the game just doesn't exist. Which, okay, again, is a hype killer. Now, what is hype? That's some shit that comes and then it goes. That's not what makes the game feel good long term, right? That's just hype. I mean, that's just two things that I think is pretty bad. Now let's move on to the more, maybe, let's say, important things. Probably, I'd say one of the largest issues is the overworld. Okay, and what I mean by that is like not instance, out in the world. It feels dead, bro, and it feels bad. Why is that? And I asked myself that question as I was leveling. I constantly was thinking about it, and I was like, man, I don't know what it is. And you know what? I feel like it's the fact that nothing at all poses even a remote challenge, or is even a slightly dangerous, or even a little bit difficult. It's just
the thing is with WoW, like when we talk about retail got to a point where it was more casual friendly. People don't want to struggle in a game killing stuff over and over again. There has to be a challenge, I get that. But like people don't want to struggle leveling and struggling to kill things. Like classic was really hard, right? And some people didn't like that in classic world. Like hardcore popped off, yes, it was hard, but like some people don't want to do that shit. People just want to mindlessly level, get to max level, and then do all the content like heroics, like mythics, whatever. People don't want to struggle. Mythics are hard. Like if you do mythic plus, yes, but like leveling shouldn't be hard because not in retail though, because you want to get to max level and you want to enjoy your experience. That's why I think retail is more casual friendly than classic is. So yeah.
every single zone, every single area, every single monster you run in, you can aggro as many monsters as you want. You can do whatever you can literally be holding down your S key, clicking your keybinds, and you just AoE them down. Run in, pull a bunch of mobs, AoE them down. And it's just how it felt. Like, I don't know, man. Bro, I had like, there was quests where like, it's building up to this big campaign boss guy. You press two buttons on him and he's dead. You don't even get to pop off. I love popping off. Why are the monsters that are supposed to be big bad guys dying before I can even get a single rotation out? I don't know. It's pretty dumb. So I feel like that's a pretty large feeling as to why the overworld feels a little bit shit. Another huge reason.
To be honest, I don't like doing stuff in the world. I hate it. I hate doing world quests. I don't like doing stuff in the world. I like doing dungeons and PvP, and that's it. I don't like doing that stuff. And like again, everyone has their own personal preference. I don't like doing world stuff. I don't like it. I never even liked world PvP. I don't like it. Like it's not fun to me. And to him, like leveling and like killing like stuff quickly is or like it taking a while, having a challenge that I can understand. But yeah, not a lot of people feel that way.
I hark on about this all the time, and I feel like it's because it's a really, really big one. And honestly, people disagree with it a lot, but I straight up think that flying in World of Warcraft, yeah, it's cool, but it's actually dog shit and bad for the game. In my opinion, there should be like one zone. You should have one zone. It can be the up area, whatever they have one zone, and that's the dragon flying area. It's a zone design with a bunch of verticality, a bunch of those races and shit, so you can do the Hogwarts broom quests and you can fly around, do all that stuff, and you can do all your flying and have all the flying mounts and do all that good stuff. But then guess what? When you get into the other zones, no flying. It's just ground mounts. And the reason why, like why, but why does he not like flying mounts? Just don't fly, forehead. No, that's not how it works. The second you have flying mounts in the game, it becomes a teleport to XY coordinate simulator.
I don't agree with this, to be honest. I think the dragon riding and flying is cool. Like I don't want to take super fucking long to get to a place. I don't. Like I remember when we had ground mounts, like when you were leveling, let's say in Wrath, before you get like cold weather flying and everything. I hated running around to get where I was. It took so fucking long. Like that's the thing. Like retail's leveling is for people to get to max level so they can enjoy end game content. Like I don't know how many of you guys, but like I don't like leveling. I hate it. I can't do leveling from 1 to fucking 80 and it takes me forever to get there. Like increase the XP for dungeons, do that because that's way more fun than running around on a mount and trying to get to places. I don't like that. Like classic is fine because that's the way classic was, but in retail it's different. Retail has moved away from the classic era because it's built for more casual players, not hardcore players.
And what I mean by that is like, well, what do? You just get a quest, you get a thing, you go there, you hop on your mount, fly up, hornet, fly down, get to the thing, go. You don't have to engage with terrain. You don't have to think about where you're going. You just look at your map, go to the point, do the thing, go to the point, do the thing. I mean, imagine if you're playing The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, bro, and Roach was a dragon, and instead of having to traverse the terrain, go through the different areas that are carefully.
He reminds me of salty competitive player based of Smite that took all the fun out of the game for me. Why I've abandoned the game sounds like he wants Blizzard to take the same path. I can understand that because again, WoW has changed over like the course of 20 years, right? Classic was different, like from Wrath from Classic WoW to Wrath, it was a different time, and then Cataclysm came and it changed like the entire game. You could fly in Stormwind, which was cool. You could fly in Orgrimmar, which was cool. The game has changed over the years, and when a game changes, it's not necessarily a bad thing. All they do was complain on as much that now every patch caters to them more than the casual player base. That's the thing. Most games are casual friendly or more casuals. Like the average player doesn't want to struggle and it takes time because most of these people also have jobs. They can't play the game 18 hours a day. Well, not 18 hours, but you guys get my point. Like some people don't have the time.
Crafted in ways where you're going to have little puzzles and little things to get through and like jump puzzle, all the stuff, except you could just fly right there. It would be fucking dog shit. And you know what? It's fucking dog shit and WoW. Like yeah, cool, it's fun. No, I like dragon flying. It's cool. Have a zone for it. Have all the little races and shit. Those are actually genuinely some of the best gameplay in the game currently, which is a little bit sad, but also, hey, they can do something. Blizzard did make a new system that was kind of cool, so you got to give them that. Yeah. Now another thing that is
So the thing is as well is that's why League was so successful. That's why some people in Cataclysm, I think it was in Cataclysm when the League came out. That's why so many WoW players really go play League because they can just queue up and play. Like with WoW, it's kind of like hard for people to actually progress and stuff because they have jobs and it's so time consuming. Like some people don't want to like go through that hassle. That's the thing. That's why casual players and making it accessible and easier for new players is important.
As bad, I think, for flying is the fact that, I mean, I don't want to talk about it too much, but like world PvP, all the natural hotspots that you would necessarily like, there's a base that everyone comes out of, and there's a bridge, there's a chokehold, there's gonna be a lot of players commuting through there. Naturally, you can go there, gank them, kill them, and that creates like, situations where people group up and have little battles and stuff. That's like a part of what makes the overworld feel alive and feel cool. Like, yo, dude, somebody help at this bridge, I'm getting ganked, all that shit. I don't know if you guys remember Hellfire Peninsula. I don't want to go too far back and be like sound like some classic Andy or some boomer, but like, man, that was some good times. And what? That's actually a very bad example because people could fly there. Although most people were questing, so they didn't actually have flying mounts. So hey, it was ethical.
Again, like I said, that time was way different. Like, and I again, I don't like world PvP. I don't. Like if I quest, I want to quest. That's why war mode is a thing in WoW too. You can turn on your war mode, and you can war PvP if you want, and you turn off your war mode if you don't want to PvP, which that is cool. But I don't like world PvP. It's not fun. Like it's like getting ganked is not fun. Like I don't like it. Like world PvP is not my thing.
I think also another reason why World Overworld feels shit and feels dead is the fact that people can instantly queue into random dungeons, and they don't really need to go anywhere. They can just sit in their fucking town and they just spam random dungeons. So then naturally they don't go out in the world. I don't think that's cool. I remember vividly in the Wrath of the Lich King, going to the dungeon instances and literally camping entire 5-man groups by myself and a warrior. Now, obviously, sometimes you die, but sometimes you kill them, and it would be.
Dude, the random dungeon finder isn't the issue. Like you still had to run to places like to do dungeons. You could do that, but they added random dungeon finder in Wrath Classic now, but like that isn't that big of a deal, to be honest. I don't mind a random dungeon finder because again, like that's a quality of life change because some people don't want to run to the dungeon or fly to the dungeon or they die on the way and then they get kicked from a group or whatever. Like some people don't want to run to the dungeon. People just want to queue up and play. That's again quality of life change. The same as League. You want to play if you want to play a game or a match, you queue up for it. Like that's fine. It's not that big of a deal.
Be fucking amazing. And I had fraps running, so I was recording that shit, homie. I was recording that for my PvP, my Warcraft movies video. Now I'm sounding like a boomer, but yeah, that shit was cool. And again, it created a sense of place and a sense of the dungeon exists. It's at this place. It's a physical location you can see and go to, and there's players there going in and out, and it feels like the world is an alive place, and there's things happening, and that creates that MMO vibe, that MMO feeling, which is just kind of not existing in the current version of WoW. I don't want to go into it too much.
If Quinn hates retail this much or he doesn't like retail this much, then go play Classic. Why didn't he play Wrath Classic when Wrath came out? That's why they have different versions of the game for different people because people want to play different stuff. That's why Season of Discovery is a thing. That's why Cataclysm Classic is a thing. That's why retail is a thing. Like, I don't know why he didn't go play Wrath Classic then.
This probably not a big deal, but I think war mode in general is just bad. I think I prefer the game better where you just pick a PvP server and then cool, sweet as. You pick the PvP server, now everyone PvP's there, and then naturally it means there's more people participating in PvP in general.
Not like he's just salty, a salty Andy and wants the game to be centered around people with his mindset. That kind of what it feels like. Yeah, it kind of feels like he's an old school WoW player. That's why I think when even there's some WoW content creators and streamers that just play Classic now, and when Wrath was a thing and Burning Crusade Classic was a thing, it's because they're old school. They like this stuff, and like a lot of people don't like the stuff that they like. People don't like the older WoW. People want to move forward. Like that's the thing.
General, it does suck being a streamer, but I think general, it's good to have more people engaging in PvP and being out in the world. because again, it makes the world feel more alive. Now, another thing that I think is currently really bad in current WoW, and that is class design. It feels far too homogenized. And what I mean by that is like all the cool niches, they're far and few between. Some of the most peak WoW moments and interesting and cool and fun things were like where your class uniquely can deal with a situation and where you can do a thing that no one else can do. Like, I don't know, there's some mechanic in a raid and everyone else has to move back. I'm a paladin, but guess what, bro? I have an invulnerability bubble I can press. Boom. I can press that shit. Or like, you're a rogue and you got Cloak of Shadows and there's this debuff that everyone has and they can actually run off the side and drop it early. There's all these sorts of little things you can do. Little things where if you're a master of your class, you have unique tools and kits, that you can do that other people can't do. Like, I don't know, maybe you're a mage and you're supposed to be really good at AoE, and then like this other guy's a feral druid and he's like really good at doing 2-target damage where you can bleed one guy and bleed another guy and he does insane broken damage in this particular situation. And I feel like what happens now is it seems like, from what I can tell, in the current game, every single class has like a million different self-heals, a million different procs. Just procs out the wazoo. You just attack, you press one.
Well, the thing with the procs and the game has a lot of AoE. I get that, right? The game has a lot of AoE, but a lot of classes have self-healing. But again, the game changed. Like, the game changed over the years, and that's fine. Like, the one thing that I would want that Zaryu said as well that I liked about in PvP, like single target damage. That is for PvP like kind of more important than having AoE in PvP. Now for dungeons and PvE, I don't think AoE is that bad just because like you need if there's a ton of mobs, like you need to mow the mobs down. And you do still do single target damage to the bosses. And like again, each class is still unique with their design because paladins have bubble with their own invulnerability, shadow priests have a disperse, rogues have cloak of shadows and evasion. Like I think all classes still are unique in their own way. I think he means in a way of like doing specific stuff in a raid that could determine a better outcome for the raid fight or whatever. That's what it kind of feels like he's trying to say.
One button procs another button, which procs some other thing, which procs a passive, which procs a heal, which procs a shield, and naturally, this is my experience. And I leveled a red paladin, and I was just playing my enhancement shaman. Even if I wanted to like not AoE, my character just spams AoE by default. Same with the shaman. Same seems to be like every class.
The reason why the proc in your button lights up when you press a button is to maximize DPS. It helps people understand their class better and do more DPS when things light up. It's like when you do, let's say for instance, you do a judgment with a paladin and your Templar's verdict like it lights up. That means press it because you have enough like holy power or whatever to do crazy amounts of damage. That's why the procs and it lights up is there. Like, is to help people like maximize damage. That's why. Well, and then maximize healing too.
And what's happened is like everyone has a million procs, a million different. Everyone just does broken AoE, broken heal, broken mobility. Everyone just has insane mobility. And then when everyone has something, like when everybody has the ability to self heal, do AoE damage, do single target damage, do cleave, do all the shit, has the insane mobility, nothing really feels special. Like, change my mind. Mages should be squishy that can nuke you from afar if they cast an ability at you, right? And they should be able to control you and slow you and CC you. But like, if you get on them,
they
right?
do that. They do that already. Like, they slow you already. Have you guys seen in the battlegrounds that I've done right now how many times mages have killed me and are annoying because they slow you, they poly you, they like, what are we talking about here?
Then you should mess them up. It shouldn't be, this mage can self-heal while teleporting, while instant casting, while doing, I'm not saying mages, to be fair, mages actually seem pretty balanced right now, but the point that I'm making is that it feels like, bro, I had a fucking hunter. I was 1v1ing a hunter. The hunter was literally healing his HP bar to full multiple times over, it felt like, taking no damage, spamming. It's like what? It's a hunter, bro. Why is he doing this? And then simultaneously, I'm a ret paladin, and I'm not. I mean, I don't know. That's supposed to be my niche. Is a ret paladin.
Like, I haven't seen that where a hunter heals like that. Like, all I know is hunter has turtle when he's in trouble. Like, I have had no issues so far. I have no complaints with the expansion so far because everything feels fine, right? And the thing is, there's some specs that are good too. So
Supposed to be have to do some off heals, and I can't even do it. I mean, whatever, bro. The point that I'm making is, class design feels bad because they're giving everyone everything. And that whole dominating a niche thing just doesn't, it's not there. And I think, why is that? It's something to do. Everyone in chat says it's to do with Mythic Plus. They want to make everyone OP in Mythic Plus, but like, bro, I don't know. Maybe some classes shouldn't be as good as other classes in Mythic Plus. Just a wild thought, bro. In my opinion.
the thing is, if people play a certain spec, you don't make that spec kind of viable, people kind of lose interest and re-roll to another class. That's the thing. For instance, let's say if what can I use as an example? Like Beast Mastery, for example. It's just an example. Beast Mastery Hunter is kind of dog shit. People don't play it, and then you have to re-roll to another spec which you don't really enjoy. You want to play Beastmaster, and then some people re-roll class and don't play Hunter at all because their spec is fucked. Like, you want all specs to be viable. Look at Mr. Pandaria. Mr. Pandaria, every class and every spec was balanced. You could play literally anything, dude. Like, it was so much fun. And this kind of feels that way now, too. Because Frost DK is good again. Like, Fury Warrior is a competitor for Arena as well with Arms. So you can play Arms or Fury. Both are good. Like it feels this expansion like it's not bad compared to class like balancing and everything.
This leads into PvP pacing. Because everyone has like a million passive procs and hots and dots and all sorts of stuff, that what happens when you press like a button on a guy, well, then they have to like slow down the PvP massively. They're going to nerf everyone's damage, because if they just like, you press this button, it did 5 things and it just one-shot someone, well, that's not going to be good for the game, right? Because it's way too complicated. You attack and it does 500 different abilities that proc of each other. It's just doesn't work. So then what happens is, all your buttons, when you press them, they don't feel meaningful, right? You press your buttons, you're pressing your burst button, you're pressing your damage button. They're just taking slow damage like this. It's a slow. You can't even feel like I'll like have all my shit up, all my cooldowns are up.
Well, my question is, when Quinn did PvP, how much gear did he have? That's my question. Like, I've seen Reds do insane damage, like when we played, and like, what? Like, I wonder what gear he had, man, because that's kind of the reason. If you have no versatility and nothing at all, like it's 0 gear or you have low gear, it's gonna be hard to kill people and you're gonna die quickly. That's the thing.
Up, they're in a stun, they got no cooldown up, and I'm like, all right, here we go, boys. This is gonna be massive, big crit. This guy's about to get wrecked. Boom, I attack. Nothing happens, and the pacing is just heinous, like heinous. And I think this is because of the fact that they've just, got the classes to the point where this is what we're dealing with. Like, it's just so bloated. Like, I think less is more. I think that we should be doing far less things. That should be far less procs happening, far less abilities proccing other, and they should be doing a lot more. Like, I should press my Templar's Verdict, right? And if my wings are up, I should see their HP go down by like 20%, 30%. I should see a rogue doesn't eviscerate on me, full combo points. I don't have a defensive cooldown up. It should chunk the fuck out of me. Not like, whatever it is now, where you go in and it's just like 2 guys and then fucking 5 pets fly out. It's like dots going everywhere, fucking beams, laser beams, hammers flying out, and just like both of our HP bars are kind of slowly moving, and you're like, well, I don't know. It's just not good. In my opinion, in terms of speed, like what is a good speed, my litmus test, I think, I was trying to kind of like get this into a sentence where you can understand it. I think if you're in PvP, and you're 2 equally geared players, and they're both really geared up, if a rogue was to do a full kidney shot on the other player, and the other player is not a tank, use no defensive cooldowns, doesn't trinket, does nothing, just stands there and just sits in the kidney shot, and that guy should die in the kidney shot. That's what I believe. If they do nothing, don't get peeled, nothing happens, and they have no difference, they didn't do anything to stop it from happening, they should die. So not like insta-gibbing, but like, people can die. And then I don't know if you tried some battlegrounds in terms of PvP pacing. Healers, specifically.
Oh, here we go. Here we go now. Like, I play healer now. Like, here we go.
I mean, priests are the worst right now, but like whatever. I don't know.
What do you mean? Priests are good. What the fuck do you mean? Like, I'm playing a disc. Like,
Just healers in general. Any expansion where healers can indefinitely keep people alive while casting instant spells only and using no cooldowns, that's just bad and it feels awful. Because what happens?
well, I get kicked and people die and stuff. Like, it's hard. Like, the thing is, like, my class isn't just instants, man. Like, it's shield procs and yes and everything, but like, they can still die because you get CC'd. Like, the healing is fine. Like, it's this. That's I get CC'd and my DPS dies. Like, I don't know if you guys saw the whole time that I played Arena and I fight someone or we do a 3v3, I get CC'd and my DPS like LOSs me. It's all like decision making and gameplay. Like, it's the decisions that you make that determine the outcome of the game. I've had it where a ton of people die on me, like, because I get polyed or kidneyed or blinded or whatever, and I have no trinket. That's how the game works. Like the same in Classic, Cataclysm Classic. If you have no trinket, you will die. If you have no defensives or whatever, like, you will be dead. Or if you get CC'd and you're healed, that's how the game works.
Is you just get like two teams of players running in. Everyone's at full HP. Everyone's just spamming AOE, and you're all just doing all these little procs, and everyone's just cleaving each other. It's like some PvE battle, like you're in like a Mythic Plus basically, and then everyone's just sitting at full life until eventually one of the healers goes and then people slowly die, and that's just the most unfun shit ever. It should be like, nah, you get a full poly on that healer, everyone bursts this guy, he dies, or you like stun a guy and you can kill him.
Well, that's what happens when you get polyed and everyone dogs your like fucking DPS, like, he dies. Like, I have had that many times when I got polyed and my DPS dies.
But, I had situations where it was 5v1 and we're fighting a backpedaling priest who has no idea what he's doing. No idea. He's like just hitting his face and just pressing onto random keys. And because of the fact that damage is so low, because they reduced it so much in PvP, and because instant cast spells are so OP, he's able to just slowly backpedal and just heal himself to full over and over again. And that it just feels dog shit. And overall, PvP just feels awful right now.
Well, to me, it doesn't feel awful. Yeah, I can keep myself up against a ton of people, but have you guys seen how many times I fucking died by trying to keep myself up the whole time? Like, I feel like it's not as bad as he makes it out to be. And he hasn't played enough, though. I don't know if he's full gear or not.
And the main reason, in my opinion, why is that? I think it's PvP gear scaling. It's the new system. It's dog shit. It's a failed system. And I think it actually is the fundamental most bad thing they've done for PvP in the game, period. And what is that? That's some system where basically you get to max level, which takes leveling like for 3 hours. That's a whole other issue altogether. You get to max level, you do BGs for 5 hours. You get your entire honor set. And then you get this gear which says scales to 626. And it's better than all other gear that's not PvP gear, but specifically for PvP. So it completely trivializes any gear that's not PvP gear for PvP. So it effectively means every single person's the same, because presuming you can play the game for 5 hours over the period of a weekend, gearing is irrelevant. It doesn't matter, because everyone effectively scales to the same level. And it means all PvE gear, dog shit. All Mythic Plus gear, dog shit. All any sort of
they did that a whole while ago where they separated PvP and PvE gear. That was in the beginning from Legion. Like, I think Legion was when they introduced the system, because the reason why they introduced the system is because they wanted to separate PvP and PvE, because like they want people to feel more rewarded by doing PvP. And the thing is as well, when you scale people to an item level, then that means that like they're on equal terms, and that it's just skill based. That at the end of the day, um, I still liked Wrath, where if you had more gear than someone in PvP, you would kill them like very quickly. But in this, it's still the same, because like if you don't have your full PvP gear, your versatility is low, and you take a lot of damage if you don't have a lot of versatility. But yeah, that's how retail has worked since Legion, man. Like, and he played Legion. Like, Quinn played Legion. Like, full PV. He did Antorus and everything.
Unless it's specific crafted like gear, stock shit. And what is that? It's just a template, bro. It's just literally like, hey, guess what? You're playing an MMO.
Yeah, it's PvP templates. That's how WoW worked from Legion.
RPG, which is supposed to be about like gearing items and stuff. And guess what? You get to like get your character leveled up, and you get a templated character. So you're just playing a normal generic dude. Maybe you can select a few of the secondary stats, so you can be like, maybe you guys a little bit more haste or a little bit more crit. But generally speaking, you're just playing a templated character. And then you're like, oh, but wait, I could go to PvE and get like some fucking badass trinket or something and take it into PvP. You can't, because the trinkets, A, don't scale up, and B, they put a 2-set trinket bonus on the PvP trinkets that completely shit on all the PvE trinkets. And in my opinion, this is just terrible. It's terrible. It's awful for the game. Because they make the PvP gear super tanky, super slow-paced. They make all of the fun, cool PvE gear completely useless. So now, like, any reason why you might consider, hey, let me go into a raid and go and get a piece of gear and take that into PvP. It's pointless. You're wasting your time. You're better off spending 30 minutes and just getting the honor gear.
Yes.
Than you would ever going into doing.
Yes, Quinn, because they separated the gear from Legion. He knew this was gonna happen. Like, Legion did that. He played even PvP in Legion, and he didn't have an issue back then with PvP templates. That's the thing. He actually played Legion.
PvE for Mythic Plus or raiding. Like, some of the best times in WoW, in my opinion, I'm thinking back, Wrath of the Lich King, bro, getting a Deathbringer's Will, and just getting that trinket that turns you into like a Viral dude and gives you like fuck tons of armor penetration and all this shit, and you get that trinket, like, you're going and you're raiding every week. It's literally in-game content. You're engaged. You're excited for the moment where you kill this boss because you're hoping to get this loot. Doesn't drop. But every time you go there, you get past that stupid gunship battle, you get to the boss, you kill him. Eventually, it drops, bro, and you...
Yes, and you could have played this in Wrath Classic again. But Quinn didn't play Wrath Classic. He didn't. He could have, but he didn't. And, like, a Paladin can't use Deathbring as well, like, because Paladins don't use Armor Pen, so I don't know.
Win it. You then take that into the battleground, and you take that into the arena, and you start dominating people, and it feels so fucking good, bro. It feels so fucking satisfying. Yeah, it's a bit gimmicky, a bit of a meme, not like the perfect balance or whatever, but who gives a fuck? This is an MMORPG. This isn't a fucking esport. You should not be balancing the game like it's an esport. You should be making it fun. And now, okay, you have the other extreme end where you have like, just using Wrath of the Lich King. I'm not like a Wrath Andy, by the way. My favorite expansion was... not for like PvP, but my favorite expansion overall was like Legion. I'm like
I told you guys. He played Legion. Legion had PvP templates.
Legion, Mop, Wrath kind of guy, whatever.
Yeah, Mop was still fine because Mop separated PvP and PvE gear, which was fine. You could do PvE gear in PvP like in Mop, but you had no like a PvP power at all. Like, Mop was fine because you had PvP power. Like, that was still the same thing, man. Like, the only thing is, like, difference with Mop is that it had no templates.
But I'm not saying the game should be exactly Wrath of the Lich King. I don't think it should. I think Wrath had plenty of problems. But like, yeah, we don't want two people running with Shadowmourns just absolutely annihilating everyone while they backpedal, right? So for sure, some items should be like maybe nerfed in rated arenas and rated places. Now, that should only be the case in rated. Everywhere else, all the gear should work. And on top of that, the gear, all the shit that isn't completely broken, that should also work in rated. Change my mind. And
what?
Vice versa, PvP gear shouldn't scale up. That system should be deleted. and the PvP gear should just be good.
Like, I don't understand, man. Like, the PvP gear in the game is already good because you scale, like, and you know, if you have no gear, you get fucking so fucking killed because you have no verse. Like,
So what I mean by that, so obviously you should have to get PvE gear and take it to PvP, and it should be good. Vice versa, you should have to get PvP gear. So if you're good enough to get to a high rating to get the PvP weapon, you can then get that weapon.
I like that weapon. I like that system though. Like that's one system that I would say I liked. Is if you got a certain rating, you can buy a piece of gear, which that was cool. I like that. That was fine. But I moved on from that too because when Mop and Kata came out right now, like my brother plays Kata as well. You just cap out your conquest and buy your gear, which is fine. That's fine. That's how the game was after Wrath.
And take it into a mythic raid and fuck shit up early because you got like an early game weapon sooner than everyone else did. Because you can also, you're like you've spent time to get good at the PvP in game, and you've also spent time to get good at the PvE in game. You should be rewarded for that. And guess what that does? That cross pollination gets people.
I don't think you should cross all PvP and PvE gear. You shouldn't. Like that. There's a reason why in Wrath as well, PvP gear was better because it had resilience too. Every stat that I've mentioned right now is crucial for PvP, like PvP power, resilience, versatility. If you don't have those three, like, you know, a lot of it, you get fucking destroyed. You take a lot of damage, you have no no like PvP power, and no versatility. It's, like, that's the thing. That's how it works. Like,
this is like a huge thing because PvP is dying, bro. It's fucking going down. Do you know why? Because there's no reason to go in there anymore. Because of this stupid trash system, which like takes the RPG elements out of the fucking MMORPG, which is like question mark. And people are like, well, why the fuck would I go to PvP? There's nothing there for me. There's no loot. I don't even like it. People kill me, and I'm trying to heal, and they kick my cast. I don't like that. You know,
they kick your cast because you have to fake your cast for them to not kick you. It's a skill thing. Like, the only reason why I can't do it as well is because my ping is fucking high. That's why.
Why would you step out of your comfort zone if there's nothing there to incentivize you out? So, yeah. Just delete the PvP gear scaling. It's literally gear templates, right? It's just stat templates with a couple extra steps. Like, oh, yeah, I found this gear out, bro. It took me 5 hours, bro, and now I've got a stat template. Trash. And you're going to hear people complain about it and say, well, that's just shit and it's imbalance. Yep. Fuck them, dude. Fuck them. This is an MMORPG. This isn't a fucking esport. If you go play League of Legends, if you want the game to be perfectly balanced, go play League of Legends. And guess what? If you're doing one of the tournaments, right? If you're doing the AWC World of Warcraft Cup, okay, cool. Then you can have your templated character on a tournament realm. You know, you're on a tournament realm, and it's got none of that broken shit there, and it's just mano v mano, and you can see who's the best gamer, whatever. But let the people playing the MMORPG have fun in the MMORPG. Like, I want to be able to get my Vial of Shadows and fuck some guy out with it. I want to be able to get my PvE weapon and take it to PvP. Or I want to be able to get because I'm good at PvP and I can get to a high rating, I want to be able to take that PvP gear into PvE.
Like what? No, you can't take it. It's never been that way, man. It's never been a way that you take PvP gear into PvE. Like, you get kicked from a raid if you have full PvP gear. You get PvP gear and you go in. Like, you get kicked. Like, I've gotten kicked from Wrath raiding before when you fucking go in there and you have, like, a couple of sets, like, and you have, like, or you have a set of, like, PvE. You get kicked. Like, no. Like, there's a reason why PvE gear is for PvE and PvP is for PvP. Like, I don't agree with this.
M+, or take M+ gear into PvP. You know, you get any which way. They should. The systems should complement each other. They shouldn't be totally against each other.
They're not against each other. They're separate because it's separate. Fucking like gameplay mechanics. PvP is you play against players, and fucking PvE you play against NPCs. Like, what are we talking about here?
Another huge reason. So yeah, this should probably be higher in priority. Actually, I mean, straight up just remove this thing higher in priority. Another huge thing that is wrong with WoW, bro, and that makes WoW shit in the current year is the WoW token.
Yeah, I think okay. That's one thing that I can agree with is the WoW token. The WoW token is horrible for the game. It's horrible for the fact that like you buy a WoW token and you can take it and pay for GDKP and get carried through through raids and stuff. I think you need to play to earn your stuff in raid, and like GDKPs in itself is another conversation we'll have. But like, yeah, people buy a WoW token and then they pay a fuck ton of gold for a guild to carry them and get gear, and then they're maxed out. Like, I think the WoW token is horrible. That's the only thing I think is bad is the WoW token.
Just delete it from the game, straight up. Do an economy reset. I don't know. Make gold redundant. I don't know. The WoW token is so shit. It's so shit. It kills straight up a huge portion of the in-game. Maybe like half of the in-game for me used to be like grinding gold. I liked getting gold. I had characters that had multiple professions, and I'd filter.
Yeah, I can see that where you make gold like I'm doing right now, where I don't want to pay 20 euros to get like 300k gold. What I do now is like I do my professions, which professions like are actually fun right now. I enjoy it. You make gold from professions. That's fine. Just yeah, I would say remove the WoW token.
All these things. I would have herbs, and I would mill the herbs, and I would turn the herbs into glyphs, and I would sell the glyphs, and I'd do all this shit. Why would you do gold farming, professions, carries, all sorts of things that you could do to earn gold whenever you spend time, like you could spend like 3 hours farming gold, or you could just work at like a minimum wage job for, for the equivalent of 10 minutes to farm like 3 hours. I don't know, the ratio is insane, right? Unless you're like literally in a world first guild and you're selling like the first mounts where you sell them for like, gold cap per mount or some stupid shit like that. It's pretty much never worth farming gold. You're always better off to just earn real life money and then, from the corporeal realm, and then spend it, put it into, and then get the money out. And it basically kills off entire end games, in my opinion. Like I am a profession, Andy. I love professions. I love that, bro. Professions where you get like special perks and bonuses for having that profession leveled up, and then you can use that inside of rated battlegrounds and stuff. Like, man.
Okay, I don't understand what the rated battlegrounds thing with the professions, but I agree with using professions to make gold, so you can like sell them at auctions and make a fuck ton of gold. That I understand. That's 100%. The WoW token should be removed because again, people can just buy a ton of WoW tokens, and then they could pay for GDKPs or whatever to get carried through raid. Which again, it's bad because then again, why would you want to do professions when you can just buy a fuck ton of gold with real money? That's the huge issue. So I think the WoW token should be removed. But I don't know what he means by with the rated battlegrounds. I think what he means with rated battlegrounds for professions, if you have like the glider and like stuff like that, and the blazing speed boots and stuff like that, I can understand.
Fuck yes, bro. Dude, I'm actually sad, dude. I'm straight up sad they removed engineering from PvP arenas. Straight up, dude. That's how much of a fucking professionality I am. But
Wait,
guess what I've done?
Could you use the stuff in arenas, the boots, the nitro boots, like that you made in arena? I can't even remember you could use it.
Just what I haven't interacted with at all. This entire expansion, and that whenever I tried Dragonflight, same deal. Professions, because why the fuck would I? I can just get everything that I could want from the profession just by spending like, $30 on a WoW token, get all my enchants, get all my shit, get all my gems, and it's just more efficient. And to me, that's like sad because that's just a reason to not play the game now. It's just another thing that I could do and I could be enjoying doing, but I can't.
You can still do it. Like, it's just like people will be faster to just buy a WoW token, which, again, I think WoW token should be removed, but you could still do professions. That's what I'm doing now. I made, what was it, over 30k gold yesterday from just doing professions and stuff. So, yeah, it's like you can still do professions. It's just like people are going to be getting gold quicker than you because they buy the WoW token. But I agree that the WoW token should be removed.
Because it just feels stupid to do. It's the same reason, like, people are going to say shit like, oh, if you don't like flying, just walk on your mount. Like, no, I'm not going to completely cuck and waylay myself. Like, that just shouldn't exist in the game, right? The WoW token is awful. And, bro, this argument that people have where they say, well, people are just going to RMT, bro. people are just gonna RMT if the WoW token's in the game. Fucking ban the RMT guys! Ban them! Ban the guys who are cheating or people.
They were like a ton of accounts were sometimes getting banned for RMT and stuff, but like you're never gonna stop that. It's still gonna continue to be a problem. Like there was even a video that Aspen made about it. It's still gonna be an issue. Like real money trading is always gonna be an issue. Like it's never gonna stop. You're gonna stop it for a while and then people are gonna do it again. Like you're not gonna. There's too many people doing it.
Cheat in every game. Ban the cheat. Don't just put cheats in the game legally. Ban the fucking cheaters. Okay? Ban them. Okay, I'm getting a little bit too heated. My bad. On top of the WoW token, cosmetics, a little bit of in-game is removed. The fact that you can just buy cosmetics, it also devalues, it just devalues every other cosmetic in the game. Like, why the fuck do we buy a game and then pay a fucking subscription to that game? And then they also devalue the in-game cosmetics by selling you the cosmetics. Like, why is that a thing, bro?
Selling you the cosmetics, what does it mean? On the store? There's not so many cosmetics on the store. Like if you go to the store, there's not a lot. Like there's maybe an outfit or two, whatever. Like, but you can still there's a ton of outfits. More of them in the game than actually on the store. Like
selling gold, like just that needs to be deleted from the game. I mean, maybe obviously this is the reasons why WoW's currently dog shit, man. And I'm like, delete the WoW token and delete. Obviously, these are things that this is like, obviously it's a pipe dream, but I'm kind of just, hoping maybe like Chris Medson's going to come in and be like, for the Horde, the WoW token's deleted. We're overhauling the PvP system. Fucking cosmetics, can't buy them anymore, boys. Let's fucking go. That's kind of like, that to me, for them to make WoW great again, this is what they're going to have to do, bro. They're going to
For your opinion, yes, this is what they have to do to make WoW great again. But like other people don't agree with you.
Either they are going to do it or some other company's going to do it. Right? Another little thing as well, we'll just cap it off. I mean, I have literally 4 pages of notes here of things that I think make WoW bad. These are just the major ones. I'm just going to do the last major one here. Leveling, bro.
What?
It's literally not even in the game anymore. Boosts. Way to kill your world as fast as possible. Let's speed run killing the world. Let's add boosts in, and let's make, you know what? While we're at it, let's just make leveling not even exist. Because leveling doesn't exist right now in the game. It's literally boost and then do quests for a few.
Well, people boost that have the money for it. Boosts have been in the game since MoP. MoP had boosts. I bought a ton of them because I hate leveling. A lot of people don't like leveling, man. Like I said this, and all of you in the stream knows about this. I hate leveling. I don't like it. It takes a lot of fucking time. I think people who haven't played WoW should level from 1 to 80 and experience the game because you learn your class along the way. But people who've played the game since 2004 or whenever they played, dude, I hate leveling, and I don't know if other people feel the same way, but I fucking hate leveling. I hate doing it. It takes a lot of time. It just, I don't like it. And any game is more fun for me than, I don't like leveling.
Few hours and then you're max level, or literally boost and then do dungeons for 2 hours and then you're max level. Do you know how many of my best memories in World of Warcraft were me leveling up my main character or leveling up one of my ults? And it just doesn't exist. It's just another thing. It's just another entire thing you could be doing that's just removed because, I don't know, people think it's good. Like, man, I love being able to have, not earn any of my leveling and just instantly have every character boosted up and have every character at max level. This is great. You know what? The rest of the game doesn't exist. It's only the end game, which, I mean, bro, I'm sounding like a little bitch right now. But remember, I love World of Warcraft. I really want it to be good. And this is just the reasons why I think WoW's bad currently. Yes, they did. I would say that it's slightly improved in terms of storytelling compared to Dragonflight, because the Dragonflight story, I don't know, that one was so dog shit. I don't even really remember it. It was like some random cutscenes with like dwarfs and shit, and was like some lightning dragon guy. It was so dog shit. And you know what? The cinematics and the story. I went through the whole story of the new one with all the, it even had the little recaps, and the cinematics got far more in depth with the characters, which I liked. And you could sit there and have the extended dialogue to get to know the people, and really, it felt better. So hey, they are improving in some aspects, but I feel like in almost every other aspect, retail WoW, or not retail WoW, just World of Warcraft in general, whatever the fuck you want to call it, WoW is just actively getting worse. And it's like, can you not do that? Can you just make it better? Because I love WoW and I want to play WoW, but currently, modern WoW is a straight up. I mean, it's a straight up, completely mid to maybe even below mid game. Okay, and I really am hoping, praying to Jesus, because what it will take for me, I'm quitting WoW right now. I'm quitting WoW. Like, I'm done. I'm fucking done. Like, I've had some sort of internal like meltdown because I've been sitting here battling my own mind. Like, man, I love WoW, but man, this sucks so much dick. This sucks, and I sit there and I'm trying not to be like fucking sitting there complaining the whole time, but I just complain the whole time because it's like, bro, like, what have they done to my boy, man? What have they fucking done to it, And I really am hoping that somehow something's changing at Blizzard, and with the next expansion, maybe they do some big overhaul, and it's effectively like WoW, reborn, WoW 2, and they delete all this dog shit. That's in the current game, and they make it what it should be. Great again, bro. Make WoW great again. Peace.
Okay, so to summarize that entire video, most of the things I don't agree with Quinn, just because of the fact that like WoW is more built like modern WoW, like retail WoW, is built for more casual players. It's not for the hardcore Andes anymore. And and again, like all the things that listed that Quinn was talking about right now is literally classic stuff. Like most of that stuff is classic stuff when it comes to having getting PvE gear to do good in PvP. That's rad. That's classic stuff. The same with like no flying. That's classic stuff. Like he just, to my knowledge, how it sounds like to me is he just wants to go back to classic, the way it was from the beginning in 2004, which that version was out, and then people, the Burning Crusade came out, Wrath came out. Now it's classic, Cataclysm classic, and now it's SOD. So I don't agree with most of what Quinn says. I think that he's just, it's not the way he wants the game to be, and that's the only reason why he has these opinions. And then he made a dude made a tweet where he said, "Why is Quinn's opinion on PvP even being taken into consideration? Isn't he the same dude who abused Red Warrior for 2 weeks, then sat the entire season hoping rank 1 safe, then he missed it?" And he said, then he quote tweeted us and said, "Gatekeepers like you are the reason why PvP is dying. Keep defending on all awful systems that only serve to help them in top 1% stay the top with the least effort, while attacking systems that actually incentivize new players to engage with PvP. You will be rank 1 out of 1 in no time." And then he said, and then there's a ton of comments here that I want to read. Kevin Rookie says, "Steps have been taken to incentivize new players to engage with PvP. Faster leveling, gearing, and solo queue options like Shuffle and Battleground Blitz. Do you think more players would engage with PvP having longer gear grinds, including needing PvE? Generally curious." And then Quinn says, 1000%, dude, the fact that you can level and gear in 8 hours total is a travesty. You aren't even playing an MMORPG at that point. Half the fun, half the fun is leveling up your guy, min-maxing his shit, getting all the Poggies rep enchants, collecting many items as possible to own people within PvP and not even in PvP itself. And yes, allowing PvE gear into PvP you create infinitely more goals and aims to players to strive, and more reasons to engage and play the game, and vice versa is also true. PvEers will try PvE because the rewarding gear, or because of the fact diluted the rare thing. Okay, so basically what he's saying here is like uh um he wants people he wants more people to engage in PvP, but and this is not as bad like for them to engage in PvP because you can literally like queue up get geared, and then there's solo shuffle and rated battlegrounds because the rated battleground blitz you can use tanks for flag carries, which some people play tanks and and I don't like tanks in PvP, but they can. And then my PvP is good. Yeah, 90% of the year wasn't BFA. Yeah, but like there's some stuff that I don't agree with when it comes to like what Quinn said. Um, that's kind of I yeah that was that's